The U.S. Navy working through the night to help rescue the thousands of people stranded by rising floodwaters in Texas.
Yeah, at least 5 helicopters. They're now helping out as they get ready to send ships in as well to assist. And joining us now to talk about the rescue operations, former Navy SEAL and newly appointed Chief of External Affairs for CNCS AmeriCorps, Carl Higbee. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Carl.
Thanks for having me.
You know, this morning, just a short time ago, when we were watching Griff Jenkins live there on the scene in Houston, we could hear the helicopters going overhead as the rescue operations continue, and really all the help that they can get, they need.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the DoD the Department of Defense has really stepped up their game here. They've sent dozens of aircraft, they're sending generators, they're sending fuel. And the big thing with the ships, what the Navy is doing, I mean, we have enormous resources that can be accessed by sea. The big thing, we can't get the resources in there right now because there's still so much flooding. Normally, like you said in a previous segment, that the recovery efforts have already started. We can't even get in there yet. So the ships are getting into the ports, and they're distributing water, formula for babies, blankets, generators, fuel especially. So that's what's really important here.
Yeah, talk about what the equipment is and really how it's going to be deployed sort of in a multi-use capacity, because, you know, helicopters can be used for a number of different things in an emergency like this.
Yeah, well, we're still rescuing people. We're still pulling people out, finding people that are in their homes. And the issue here is right now the primary mission is to get people out of the danger zones and into shelters. That's the most important thing. We have tens of thousands of people who still, you know, who've been evacuated, who are being evacuated. And then you also have the basic resources to sustain life: water, fuel for the generators, blankets, things like that. We haven't even gotten in there to start the recovery and cleanup yet.
Yeah, and Carl, you know, overwhelmingly we've seen example after example of neighbor helping neighbor. We heard FEMA talk about the importance. They've needed these, you know, resident volunteers to get in there and help out, to bring their boats, because as you said, you know, other organizations can't get in at this point. Talk to us about the volunteer organization process that will happen not only now but after, when we have to, you know, have people help out in the shelters.
Right. Well, thank God Texas is actually one of the most self-sustaining states. I mean, the amount of money that's been pouring in there has just been able to aid the effort. So right now, groups like AmeriCorps, which is I'm with, we have citizens all over the country right now. We have about 300 that are moved into just outside the disaster area, waiting for the local authorities to say that it's okay and safe for us to go in. We're helping at shelters right now. We have another 700 plus on standby nationwide, ready to move in. And also the big thing which people are not talking about right now is there's people, even school's about to start. You have kids 18 to 25-year-olds who are going to high schools, colleges, things like that.
That's a good point.
Don't know what they're going to do next. And I would say that AmeriCorps offers amazing efforts, amazing opportunities for these people to take a year off from whatever school they were going to do, go in, do a year of national service, get some college credits, get some college grants, and help out with the recovery effort, and then you can go back to your life.
And Carl, if people want to help right now through your organization, the website is nationalservice.gov. We have it right there on the bottom of your screen. Just quickly, what are the ways through your organization that people can help?
Right now, we have a list of charities that we put on there that we feel that are vetted, that are not fraudulent charities and things like that. Don't send supplies. Don't go down there with a chainsaw yet. Send money to the appropriate charities in the area that are vetted. There's a number of websites out there you can go, but the money is the biggest thing right now because it's going to be used to buy the supplies closer to the thing. It's just too hard to ship in supplies at this point.
Yeah, and a good point to make sure they are vetted through an organization like nationalservice.gov. Thank you so much, Carl, for joining us.
Thank you, Carl.
Yeah,
Thanks,
appreciate
folks.
it.